In this video, we cover design, timing, shortcuts, and color variations. Please follow along with me as we automate the AppTestStudio Trainer application in an Android environment. Let's automate the next screen. I'm going to right-click on Events and hit Add an Event. It's going to take a screenshot of the current window, and you can see that we're on level 1 now. And in fact, you can do all this automation inside of AppTestStudio. In this case, I like this text up here, because this is a really good color. Oh, let's talk about the color at the pointer. When I move the mouse over the different elements, it has a zoomed in view. So right now I'm on the star and I can fine tune where I'm clicking. See when I move between the different colors? So it's on the dark orange and now it's on the light orange. So now I can fine tune where everything is. One thing you want to avoid is when I see the white that I'm on now, 255, 255, 255 is white. White's used a lot, and it can also be used between screens. So you want to avoid, in most cases, using blacks and whites because they may be used a lot more than you would think. Also, when a screen changes, some applications change to a white background or a black background, and you wouldn't want to get false positives. So if you do use white or black, make sure that you have some other colors in the mix. And in this case, I'm not going to use these because I don't really like them. But what I do like is if I can get over here in some of these gray colors, see how I've moved and I've got a nice gray color. That's going to be very hard to duplicate because the likelihood of there being gray here is very, very low. And in fact, I could probably just use this one gray color and it won't be anywhere else in the application. But just in case, I'm going to click some orange, I'm going to click some blue, maybe even I'll click this diamond. I can hit test and there is no animation, so it's going to pass. And let's hit close and let's give it a name. Let's call it level 1. And when we are on level 1, what do we want to do? Click the continue button. I'm on level 1 here, and if I let's scroll this over. If you wanted to interactively work on it to see that it worked, go over here. We're on level 1. If I hit test while I'm on the click event, it's going to do a click. And it'll even say that at the bottom, click attempt. See where it says click attempt? Versus if I click on here and hit test, it's going to do, if I click on an event and hit test, it's going to check the different windows. So here's reference, and I'm on level 1. We're comparing against level 2, and it clearly doesn't match, so it's not going to do anything. Let's go ahead, let's talk about the Run tab. When we're designing, so I have built level 1 and level 0 and level 1, and let's look at the Run tab. The Run tab has level 0 and it doesn't have level 1. And that's because I didn't hit run. So when you hit run, it takes a copy of the design script and runs a background thread and runs that script. So if I want to use the current script that I've just designed, I have to click on run. Now run has level 1 and level 0, and I can continue designing while it's running. And I like to do that because I think it's easier to work with. And in fact, if I go back to level 0, it will do the different clicks. And you can see in the screenshot here, it will tell you when it does clicks. You can also see where it clicked. I'm going to go back again, back to level 0, and each time it does an action, it'll tell you which one it did. Let's talk about the distance on the boxes. So right now we have it set to, let's go into the design view. Right now we have it set to wait for 1 second, and the event has a delay of 0 right here, and the click event has a delay of 1 second, and it's right here. So it says if you do a click after completion, I want you to go back home and then wait 1 second. We can see that in effect, and I'm going to go to the Run tab and show you the differences on the screen. Going back to level 0, level 1. I'm going to pause it right here. So what we said was, after we click level 0, we wait 1 second, and then we go home. When we go home, we wait 1 second, and then we go back and check all of our actions again. What if you wanted a different timing? Let's change our click events to be a half a second. So I'm going to set it to 500 milliseconds, which is a half a second on click level 0. And after you click level 1, I'm going to set it to, let's do 700. And let's go ahead and change the general to 300. I made the changes. Let's arrow over and see what happened. So it's still using the 1 second logic. I'm going to hit run and do that again. And click and click. And you can see that the timing is now changed. I'm going to pause it here. You can see that it's waiting a half a second, and then I think this was 700 and 500 for the different timings. So you can adjust the times to make your application the way you want it. Now, when I'm clicking over here, it's going really fast, and maybe I want it to stop. Let's go ahead and talk about what happens when I need it to stop working. You can always hit pause, and it'll stop running the script, and I can arrow to the screen that I want. You can also hit resume, and it will resume the script. If you click on your project at the top, on the design, under apps, let's talk about these keyboard shortcuts. The first is the one called pause the running scripts, and it's Control-Alt-Shift-Escape. That's if things go terribly wrong. So if you want to pause the script, let's say you made a runaway script and you wanted to pause it, you could hit Control-Alt and Escape. I'm going to do that right now. So let's make the script a runaway script, and maybe it's actually interacting with the desktop and you can't do it. In this particular case, we're not using an interactive script, but on some of the other ones we will be doing that, in which it will take over the mouse and you may not be able to recover. So we need a way of stopping it with keyboard. I'm going to go to Run just to show you. I'm going to hit Control-Alt-Shift and Escape. It will pop up a little window that says, hey, I paused it, just to let you know, because controlling your scripts is important. And the script is now paused. Let's go back to the apps and look at the next one. The next one is using the claw with F5. This toggles the scripts on and off. Let's go ahead and do that one. Let's go to Run and Control-Alt-Shift-F5. I'm pushing that, and it will start back up. It will even tell you at the bottom what it did. The claw plus F5 pressed. If I hit Control-Shift-Alt-F5 again, it will pause. And it'll even say that it paused them. Pausing the thread. Let's go over the next one, which is take a screenshot. Again, the claw here and F1, which takes a screenshot. Let's do that one on the next screen. Some applications require the mouse pointer to be hovering, and when you hover, it changes colors. A lot of applications do that, and sometimes you can't do it if you're just heads down inside of AppTestStudio itself, because you can build these scripts without leaving the AppTestStudio environment in some cases. But other cases, you need to have the active window showing and the mouse in a certain place and the color changes, and you need that color. To do that, you can hit Control-Shift-Alt-F1. It will take a screenshot. It will also take one where you had it on the tree list. Okay, so we're on level 2. Let's call it level 2. Oh no, and look what happened here. It put it underneath the level 0. How do we get rid of that? You can just drag and move it to the top, and it will put it there. Now let's say I wanted level 2 to be at the bottom. You can right-click, Advanced, Move, and Down, or you can select the node and hit Control down, and it'll move it up and down the node list. So far, since our events are unique to each other, it doesn't really matter where they are on the script. I'm going to try to make a mistake here, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this this text is my key. So I'm going to click on Script Order Matters and grab a couple of colors. I grabbed a nice set of colors for level 2, and I'm going to right click and add an action and say continue. And then I'm going to hit test. It's going to click there, and now we're on. Well, I said it was going to click there. Test. Okay, sometimes, I don't know why, the AppTestStudio Trainer locks up. I'm going to close it out and start it up again. There's actually an event in AppTestStudio to do that, which we'll cover later. I'm going to go ahead and hit run, and we are now on level 4. Oh no, what happened here? We have a little bug. I'm going to pause the script. What happened? It actually clicked level 0, level 1, level 2. I'm going to change all the timings back to 1 second to make it a little bit simpler on all the events. Let's go ahead and do that real quick. 1 second there, and 1 second there, and that one defaulted to 1 second. So what happened here? I'm on level 2, and it clicked level 2. And now look, I'm on level 5. I didn't write 4 or 3. Let's test level 3 and see what happened. So I'm on level 2 and I hit test, and look what I did. Level 2 and level 3 had the same exact colors. So I need a way, so be mindful when you do scripts that you need to account for that. In AppTestStudio, we added a little bit of a unique thing, which is this level thing here, which counts. And so this can be unique between screens. I'm going to click on there and use that as my key for level 2. So now level 2, and it won't work on level 3. And let's go back to level 2 and hit test. And it did pass. Now we're on level 3. Let's do level 3. Add an event, level 3. And I'm going to go use the level 3 code here, and right click, add an action, click continue. And let's go ahead and hit run. I like to hit run, that way I know. And it moved me to level 4. We just talked about some powerful tools to add to your toolbox. In the next video, we're going to cover color variations, project organization, and screen selection.